Hello and welcome to ACS Golf, and this week's review I'm looking at this. The Callaway Big Bertha B21 Hybrid. Now, the reason I'm looking at this club is actually a friend came up to me the other day and he was like, Adam, you've done over 70 videos now on your channel. Can you suggest a really forgiving, long and easy to hit hybrid for me to go and buy and put in my bag? And it actually got me thinking, hold on, yes, I have done 70 videos now, but I've only reviewed 2 hybrids. I've done the TaylorMade Sim, which is an amazing hybrid, do check out the channel for that, and a PXG 0211 from 2019, again an amazing hybrid, check out the channel for that review. And I've only done 2 hybrids reviews, but I play a hybrid all the time. I always have a 3 hybrid in the bag. I've currently got the Ping G430, so this year's model, which I will be doing a review in the future for you guys. And so it made me think, well, hold on, let's go out and let's try and find a club for him that I think would also be a massive help for you guys. So that's why I've picked this up, because yes, I could have gone down the Ping side when it comes down to forgiveness. You think Ping, yes, I could have gone down a TaylorMade side. Let's be honest, you know, their hybrids have always been one of the best out there, especially the fact they made the Rescue Club, I believe. Don't hold me to that, but I think they introduced a Rescue Club all the way back in the day. And also they brought Adams Golf in 2013-14, where were one of the best at the time and incorporated a load of technology from Adams into their hybrids. So I could have gone down that route, but I thought, no, hold on. Let's go Big Bertha, because now Callaway have got Big Bertha back into the idea of these super forgiving clubs. You know, sort of in the mid, sort of, you say, 2010s, Big Bertha was actually sort of more their normal range. You know, she had the great Big Bertha Epic driver and all that sort of lineup, but now it's very much back in that super game improvement category. So there you go, there's a reason why I picked this up, and this is the reason why I'm going to be testing it for you today, guys. So as always, let's have a closer look at the club, then we'll get down, then I'll come back in here, we'll talk through all the technology, then we'll get down to the range, I'll throw some figures at you, then we'll come back in here and do the ACS golf scale, and I'll let you know what I think of this club. I'm not going to lie, majority of it's going to be very positive, because I did love this. Okay, now quickly before I get to showing you a closer look at this club, do remember, guys, subscribe to the channel for weekly reviews, and obviously the odd sort of added video in there as well. I'll put like old clubs versus new clubs, which I've done a bit recently. Okay, now let's have a closer look at this club. So there you go, a closer look at the club. Now, I really do like the sort of colours with this. I like that dark blue. I like the way it's got Big Bertha around the side. You got sort of a red and white line there, not yellow. Actually, no, silver around the side there. One thing I will say though is I'm not a massive fan of, well, firstly of this sort of Callaway hybrids. A lot of them are like this sort of the Max, where they sort of have this big sort of chunky toe. You can sort of see there on the top. I mean, take my Ping G430 for example. I much prefer that sort of classic hybrid shape there, which sort of just looks like a 3-wood, but just a little bit mini. I'm not a fan of them. But anyway, that's me. And also you can see here, look at that. The shaft coming in there is actually in front of the face there. And the reason they've done that is so they can close the face a little bit more. So the idea of, obviously, this being a super game improvement hybrid is to help reduce that slice if someone's got it. But do be aware, this face is quite close. So if your shot all the time is a draw, you might suffer a little bit with this. And I did a little bit myself, but I'll get into that when we're going through all the results from the range. Now, let's get into the technology of this club, because believe me, there is a lot in it, because it is Callaway, and it always is. So first things first, just like the Callaway's Maverick, which was also released this year, 2020, the B21 Hybrid has a gel brake bars behind the face, connecting the crown and sole to create maximum ball speed from whatever swing speed you can muster. Now, There's always been a bit of a debate about the jailbreak. A lot of people say that it's only real benefit if you've got a faster swing speed, but Callaway's very adamant that no, it is for everyone across the board. So there you go. Personally, obviously I don't have a slow swing speed, I can't necessarily test that for you guys, but for sort of, I'd say sort of maybe average, maybe a little bit above average swing speed, I think it definitely works. So there you go. If anyone who has a slower swing speed, you know, tried Callaway hybrids or anything, drivers, before the jailbreak and after jailbreak, and have noticed a big difference, do let me know, because it's a big technology for them. They still use and really did jump everything up when it came down to their drivers, especially for distances. Anyway, moving on. Now there's also a strong and lighter AI designed titanium flash face to ensure distance even if you don't catch it out of the center. Perfect, love that. Now we move on to 70 grams of dual tungsten weighting has been placed into the sole of the club head using MIM, which is metal injected molding to enhance your launch and trajectory. Perfect, super game improvement hybrid. That's what you want. You want that launch. Yeah, perfect. I can't complain. Even more forgiveness and launch benefits coming from the significantly lighter T2C carbon crown, allowing weight to be redistributed. So even Callaway, you know, put their carbon even into their hybrids as well, which is great because it means they can save weight on the top and move it around the club head to get it to perform how they want it to perform. Now going into this, as I said before, this is a super game improvement hybrid, so it's not really targeting your guys who maybe just want a little bit more forgiveness rather than a longer iron. So not only does this obviously have a 3 hybrid, because this is the 3 hybrid I have here that I'm testing in 19 degrees, but it goes all the way to an 8 hybrid, 33 degrees. So to really give someone who really needs a help an option to say, look, you can pretty much have your whole bag of hybrids, which is a big thing that's coming in at the moment, especially for some people with slower swing speed, to really maximise distance. So there you go, that's good. And finally, Callaway's new RCH shaft has been specifically designed for the B21 metalwoods. A reasonably lightweight construction and an active tip section mean it naturally tries to add loft to impact, so shots are flighted high to maximise carry. There's also special select new grip in Golf Pride's Tour 360 soft. I've actually got a lambkin thick one on this, which a mid-size, sorry, it's called oversized, but I classify as mid-size, which I love. I actually got that on my driver. But there you go. So specifically, and I do like it when, you know, firms like Callaway or whatever, they go out and they go, all right, well, we want the maximum performance for this, so we're going to produce specific shafts for them to really maximise the performance of this club and to help who they're aimed for. So I think it's really good, and I will definitely say with that tip, I tend to, with someone who has quite a negative attack angle, I tend to always, even though I use normally stiff shafts, this is a regular shaft, I normally always tend to get one with a more flexible tip to help aid that launch. And this is exactly what this does, so perfect, there you go. All right, so there is all the technology in this club, jam-packed as you'd expect from a big brand like Callaway. Now let's get to the range, throw some figures at you, and then we'll come back for the ACS Golf Scale.
So here I am down the range with the hybrid. Now let's jump straight into those figures. So on average, I had a total carry of 200 yards, total distance of 214 yards, ball speed 137 miles per hour, launch angle 10, and height 64. Now, for me, I want my hybrid to go, well, 3 hybrid to go around 215, so pretty much straight on the money when it came down to distances. One thing I will say with this club is obviously because of that sort of closed face, I did find my draws and a lot of my shots were a lot worse than I sort of want. But one thing I was quite surprised with is I could actually shape it a bit, so I could actually move it to the right. But again, there you see everything is just going left there, which was really quite annoying. And then when I changed my swing, boom, there you go. Did actually manage to get, well, that's more of a slice and a fade, but did manage to get a fade on it, and I did the same shot next. So overall, found it really easy to hit, perfect distance, and honestly, very forgiving as well. It was a very good hybrid and just a joy to hit.
So there you go, the results. And all I can say about this club, it was so fun to hit and so easy to hit. I mean, I just felt I could swing at this all day long and still get good results from it. It was just yeah, just so easy and such a pleasure. You know, it's quite nice when you do try golf clubs, and because that's at the end of the day, we're all out there to be on the golf course and to have some fun. And it's nice to be able to pick up a golf club and just swing and just hit, swing and just hit. You know, not having to think, okay, I need to do this, I need to do this. You could just literally pick this up and just hit it, put it in a bag, go on, and you know it's down the fairway. So really, really cool. You know, just it's great. I love finding clubs that are nice to hit and fun to hit, and this definitely was one of them. Obviously, with that draw bias for me, and someone who normally draws the ball, I was shifting everything left, you know, and probably a little bit too much, to be honest, which probably, let's be honest, would have put me into trouble on the golf course. So not necessarily the golf club for me because it's already set with that club face closed, but I will say I found it really easy to shape. So, you know, if you watch my videos, you'll always notice I have my right foot back. This is because I'm not that flexible, so I can open up my hips more and get more power. But I can easily fade the ball if I move my foot forward. It doesn't go as far because I don't have as much rotation. But for this, I was still fading the ball and getting still quite decent distance as well. So I was surprised by that. I didn't think it was going to be that easy to shape, and it really was. Which just again says how easy this club is to hit. It's just a joy. Okay, now let's get into the ACS Golf Scale. So first things first, we'll talk about distance. As mentioned before, distance for me, I want that sort of around 215 for my hybrid. That's sort of on average. That's the total distance. And as I mentioned, this is 214 distance-wise for the hybrid. Perfect, spot on, exactly what I wanted. I had a few that were really long. I had a 228. You know, if anything, that's probably too long for me. But, you know, again, I just felt like I could go for it. I was so comfortable hitting this club. I didn't feel like I could hold anything back. I could just go for it, which is probably that reason there. So that's probably why I was getting that extra distance. And then, you know, getting, so on average 137 miles per hour, hit one bad shot, really bad shot, you know, pretty much off the top of the head. And I got, you know, 1, 2, 3 miles per hour. Okay, so it dropped down a lot, but I mean, it was literally the worst shot in the world. And I still got 193 yards. So I'd lost, you know, sort of 10 yards there, well, 15 yards. And believe me, I nearly missed the club face with it, so that was great. But yeah, overall distance, really happy with it. Did exactly what I wanted. You know, 4 out of 5. You know, wasn't longer than I want. Remember, 215 for me is that sort of benchmark. Anything longer, then I would have given it higher. But, you know, on average, 214, 4 out of 5. Really nice distance out there, which is exactly what it's there for. It wants faster ball speed. It wants that distance. And that's exactly what it did for me. You know, it gave me that distance. It gave me that 137 miles per hour ball speed. It felt hot off the face. Just, yeah, lovely, lovely. There you go. Okay, now moving on to feel. So feel, I've actually given it a 3 out of 5. Don't get me wrong, really bad hits. I can tell. You know, I can tell straight away that's an awful hit. But I still look up and still get really good performance. I can't necessarily tell exactly where they are unless they are really bad. If they're sort of your normal hits, I can't tell if I'm right in the middle of the face or a bit left, a bit right. So feel was 3 out of 5. You know, it's a super game improvement iron, so I wasn't expecting it to be the best feeling club in the world because, you know, people who are going to be buying this aren't necessarily want that feel, you know, want to know exactly where they hit in the face, want to be able to shape it, etc. So for me, 3 out of 5, really bad hits. I knew about it. Everything else, it was relatively fine, and it did feel powerful off the face. You know, it felt strong. It felt like I could hit it. So that's why I'm giving it 3 out of 5. Very, you know, really happy with it, to be fair. 3 out of 5 is nothing to be ashamed of. So yeah, there you go. Okay, moving on to looks. Now, as much as this club performs, I don't like the look of it. I've given it 2.5 out of 5, to be honest. It's okay. It doesn't insult me too much, but I think it's, you know, like I said before, I'm not a massive fan of the shape, but I can live with it. But it's just that offset there. It's just the fact that the shaft goes in the front. It just I don't know, just I don't like the look of it. I like the more traditional one. So 2.5 out of 5. I still like the colours. I like the blue on the crown. You know, I like the shaft as well, to be fair, the way they've done it, and they've got Big Bertha on it. So 2.5 out of 5, but generally just the overall shape and that shaft being in the front, not a massive fan. So 2.5 out of 5. Now, on to forgiveness. 4.5 out of 5. I mean, to find a hybrid this size to be that forgiving is great. It's done exactly what it wanted to do. It gets the ball in the air perfectly. You know, launch angle, you know, okay, 10, but for me, that's not a bad thing. Believe me, it was still popping up nicely. Had a good enough spin as well, so even though it popped up, it just kept on rising. So really happy with the launch and sort of the height I was getting with it. Off-centered hits, like I said, unless it was horrendously bad, there wasn't really a drop-off on it. 4.5 out of 5. You will not be disappointed with the forgiveness in this club. It is very, very, very good. I haven't given it 5 out of 5 because I feel like if you had a bigger head, you know, you can get those super hybrids. I think that would be more 5 out of 5 because it's just a bigger head. But 4.5 out of 5, very, very good and very, very happy with it. So overall, performance-wise, it has been outstanding. It really has performed. And like I mentioned before, it is so easy to hit. Now on to price. So price isn't necessarily a sticking point here. It's just more the fact it is what it is. So I've given it 2.5 out of 5, which means that it's very much valued at exactly how it should be valued. I mean, if you're going on to sort of say Golf Bidder, which is a second-hand store over here in the UK, you're looking at sort of, well, left hand was under £100, you know, right hand was £108, so what, about $135. If you're going on eBay, you know, I've seen a few go for £72, so $90, but then I've seen another one go for £110, so just under $140. So you're looking around that £100 mark, maybe a little bit underneath it. Anything underneath it I think is good. Anything above it I think is okay because you're specifically going for something like this. Compared to other sort of clubs on Golf Bidder, then you're sort of looking all around the same sort of time period for the same price. So you can get the Sim Max Hybrid, which I think is great, for £93 from 2020. Well, starts for £93 from 2020. I don't know exactly what condition that is in, but it starts from £93. You know, Distraction ZX from 2021, which is a great hybrid. And the Maverick Max came out the same year as this for the same price. Cobra LTDX from 2022 hybrid for £90 actually. I don't think they're all right. Obviously the driver is really good, but I don't think the hybrids, they're all right basically. If I remember reading the reviews about them. Never tested them myself though. And then you had the TaylorMade stuff as well for 2022, which didn't do that well supposedly for some reason. But yeah, so it's very much priced how it should be priced. It's not like, oh my god, this is a bargain, go and get it. It's like you specifically want to go out and get a really good performing, easy to hit, probably the easiest club I've ever hit in my life, and obviously the forgiveness as well for sort of the market rate. And that's what it is. It is a market rate. So that's why I'm giving it a 2.5 out of 5, because it's very much what I'd expect you to pay for this. You're not paying over it and you're not paying under. For a club from 2020 that's now nearly 3 years old. Well, it is 3 years old. Yeah, 2023 is 3 years old. So there you go. There's my review of the Big Bertha B21. I will just say quickly, add this. I did drop this on the floor. Haircut's pretty cool as well, which you'd expect, you know, from Callaway. I do like the colour system on there. Quite nice. Okay, so there you go. There's my review of the B21 Big Bertha Hybrid. Any, you know, the main thing to take home from it, it's literally the easiest club to hit in the world, I swear. It's mad. It's a joy to hit. It's forgiving, and it's got great performance. For me, because of that sort of draw setting, I have to think a little bit about keeping it straight, which I can do. Don't get me wrong, I hit some straight shots with this, and like I said, I could fade it as well. But for me, I just prefer more classic one, because to be honest, it was very tempting to put this in a bag. I know, you know, you could say, all right, what's my handicap? All right, my handicap's 10.9, but it was very tempting to put this in the bag. It really was, you know, because this is really aimed for those high handicappers, not your sort of average golfer such as myself, but it's such a fun club to hit. It really is. And I'll probably keep on going on about that, so I'm going to stop myself there before I really ramble on about this club, which is always the way. If you ever see a really long video for a club, it's because I've really enjoyed hitting it and I just don't stop talking about it. So there you go. Anyway, Callaway Big Bertha B21 hybrid, great fun, easy to hit, does exactly what you wanted to do. Just a perfect little hybrid there. Okay guys, now remember to give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Do hit the subscribe button as I mentioned before to make sure that you you know, you get those weekly reviews that come out every Sunday, and obviously the odd video as well. Also subscribe to my Instagram channel, acs.golf. Basically, I put videos up there every now and again of like upcoming videos and stuff like that, so you know what's coming up. And yeah, do comment down below if you play, you know, this Callaway Big Bertha B21. You know, what do you think of it? Because I cannot give any more of a better, well, I can actually, I can probably give more points in the golf scale, but overall, yeah, glowing recommendation, absolutely. Okay, guys, I'll see you soon for the next ACS golf video. Bye-bye.